I have a question for you. How many liters of Windex do you think they need to clean this place? Hello my friends and salam alaikum. Welcome to another video. If you've seen my past videos, you will know that right now I'm part of the pre-opening team of something called the Red Sea Project, which is one of the most ambitious developments in the world right now. We are currently in the simulation phase, which means we're practicing real guest scenarios before the resort officially opens. So everything we do right now is simply preparation. And pre-opening is a very unique phase. It's not just about preparing the resort, but it's about building everything from zero: the service, the standards, and the experience. We repeat things constantly, we adjust to the details, we test scenarios until kind of everything feels, let's just say, kind of feels smooth. And to be honest, some days do feel a little bit intense because everything's changing so fast that you need to adapt to everything in a very short period of time. And you are pushing that to a very high level, but at the same time you're part of something that doesn't really exist yet. And that's kind of a very rare position to be in. It's kind of unique. And this is something that people don't really talk about that much. When you're working in an isolated place in a very remote area, especially to a level like this, when you're working, in my case, in a wellness or luxury resort, monotony can come in very fast. Going to work, finishing, coming back home, sleeping, repeating the same thing all over again. But again, if you have the objective there very clear and you focus on that, on the day, on the present, the rest of the things can actually become a little bit more, let's just say, a little bit more easier to carry on. So between simulations and the pre-opening thing and everything that comes along with it, I just been exploring a little bit around. So one of the first places I went was Jeddah, and honestly, it felt like a completely different world. After spending so much time in a more isolated environment, arriving in Jeddah feels, how can I say this? It just feels alive. There's energy, there's movement, there are people everywhere. You might be thinking like, come on, there's people everywhere. But believe me, when you work in a remote place, again, in an isolated area, just seeing something as normal as people just walking around, going to a cafe or stuff like that, believe me when I tell you, it hits different. Because sometimes when you're working in a place like the one that I'm working at, it feels like you're in a bubble. So when you go to a place like Jeddah, kind of that bubble, I don't know, just kind of disappears. And a place like Jeddah basically gives you a different perspective. In my perspective, it gave me that kind of a little bit of bohemian vibe, and it showed me a different face of Saudi Arabia, which I totally love, and I fell in love with Jeddah. And after Jeddah, a few weeks later, I went to a very unique place called Al Ula. Al Ula is something completely different. If Jeddah feels alive and dynamic, Al Ula feels, what is the word I'm looking for? It feels still, quiet, almost timeless. In Al Ula, time definitely slows down. It feels like time just stops. So it's not just something that people say, but you have the opportunity to experience it. The landscapes are so vast, so open. It kind of forces you to slow down. There's no rush, there's no noise. They're just space. It's everywhere. You can see it and it hits you different. And I think that's what kind of impacted me the most, that you go from different parts of the country and then you arrive into a place like Al Ula and everything kind of just stops. Maybe, and I think maybe because we are used to pushing all the time, moving forward all the time, that sometimes we don't just take our time to slow down, to stop, and to kind of digest everything that is happening in our minds, that is happening in our hearts when it comes down to our emotions. And places like this just show us how important balance is. This kind of places makes you realize how disconnected sometimes we are from that stillness. In my case, I just wanted to go to one of the rocks that is there, covering me, giving me a little bit of shade. And I just wanted to put either my yoga mat or something there and just sit there and just watch everything and don't do anything. Just watching that, enjoying the sunrise, the sunset, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's nothing there, and there's a beauty in that. I firmly believe that there's a place in time when you have to push, when you have to move forward, when you have to do your things, when you're actually trying to reach a goal. In my experience, places like this show you that not everything is just pushing forward all the time. There's a time and a space for each of those things. So my life right now is this constant contrast between a very structured, high performance, optimized place and something totally the opposite to it, which is just still enjoy the present. And I think that balance is important in every aspect of our lives. And also, I have to admit, it's a very unique experience. And again, being part of a luxury wellness resort at this stage where everything's coming up from, and you're putting everything from scratch, from zero, it just, let's say, adds another level of responsibility. And it's not only about the service, and I know it's going to sound very cliche, but it's also about creating that experience. That same experience that aligns with that idea of balance. One side, the performance, and on the other one, the stillness of things. And this experience is teaching me it's not only about where you work, but how you experience everything around it. The places that you go, how you disconnect, and how you reset. And at the end, that kind of becomes part of the same journey. I wanted to share this experience with you. If you are interested in seeing more what it's like to be working and living in Saudi Arabia, especially in a luxury wellness resort or in a luxury resort environment, you can keep watching my videos. You can watch my other videos as well. Again, remember to subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And I hope that you can find the balance that you're looking for in your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.